Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your daily dose of zombies news from the game and community here on COD Zombies HQ. Thank you so much for tuning in today because there is a lot to talk about, some good, some bad, a couple of which you need to hear if you intend to play zombies anytime soon. So without further ado, let's kick things off with our first story of the day, and there's a lot of them today. Yesterday at 11 p.m. Pacific time, the new mega patch went live for Cold War Zombies. We went over all of the fixes, changes, and additions that are coming to zombies with this new patch in yesterday's video, so if you haven't seen that, I would highly recommend you check that out. But since the patch has gone live, there is a lot of secret changes to the map and the game mode that Treyarch didn't actually tell us inside of the patch notes. For example, now within the map of Die Maschine, whenever you pack-a-punch the RayGun, apply a pack-a-punch camo to it, which makes it look incredibly sick. Next up, as noticed by Zombies Twitch streamer Smart Guy over on Twitter, Treyarch changed up the crafting table, shifting positions of the chopper gunner and the self-revive, we assume to make it a little bit more user-friendly, so all the actual lethal score streaks are bundled together with the self-revive at the end. Next up, we have all of the locations for the new Season 1 Intel Easter eggs located on the map itself. A lot of new intel locations were actually added into Die Maschine. A bunch of them you can see on screen now thanks to Reddit user Wheelmo, so be sure to hop in and explore around this updated version of Die Maschine to find all these new intel locations. And for those that might have been concerned about this, you can still receive preseason intel within Die Maschine if you want to complete the calling card, so don't worry about that, you can still do that even after preseason is over. And in kind of an unfortunate addition that we talked about yesterday, where Treyarch is going to continue to add new intel Easter eggs into Onslaught map and modes that are exclusive to PlayStation, including these 3 pieces of intel found on the Onslaught map satellite that shows us a before and after pictures of what Die Maschine looked like before the Soviets reclaimed the site right before the events of the map. And quickly, while on the topic of Onslaught mode, for whatever reason Treyarch removed the ability to play on Nuketown 84. That map is no longer available to play on Onslaught mode. Obviously you can still play it in multiplayer, but for whatever reason Treyarch have removed it from Onslaught. We'll see if it's just a bug or not in the coming days. Speaking of bugs, there are a bunch of them that were introduced into this game with the latest update, some of which you have to know before you get into zombies game so you don't get negatively affected by them. The first of these is that if you remember in yesterday's patch notes, Treyarch said that they fixed the weapon duplication glitch that you can do when re-rolling attachments at the armor station. Well, it seems like the way they fixed it is that every time you upgrade your weapon or re-roll your attachments, the game will physically put the weapon away that you just upgraded and then re-pull it out of your inventory like you got it for the first time. Now this process takes significantly longer than what it took beforehand, where before it was almost instant. When you upgraded your weapon rarity or re-rolled your attachments, it's going to take quite a bit longer now, and even more importantly, where before you could just spam quickly upgrade your weapon if you had a lot of salvage in reserves or you want to just re-roll your attachments quickly on your weapon. Do not, and I repeat, do not do that anymore, because if you quickly spam the re-roll attachments or upgrading your rarity of your current weapon, the game will put your primary weapon into your inventory. On the second click, it will upgrade the rarity of your secondary weapon, resulting in the game despawning your primary weapon, the weapon that you're actually trying to up its rarity from the game entirely, leaving you with your secondary weapon duplicated, one with a lower rarity, one with a higher rarity. So I repeat, if you do not want to totally just lose your weapon, have it lost into the dark ether in this map now, make sure when you're upgrading your weapon's rarity or re-rolling attachments, do it slowly and wait for the animations to finish. This is one of those cases where Treyarch tries to fix a glitch in the game that really wasn't hurting anybody, right? You can duplicate weapons, but not a lot of people knew how to do it or were even doing it in their games, and by attempting to fix that glitch, they've reintroduced a game-breaking one into the game. But not all of the new bugs introduced into the game with this new update are so detrimental. Some are just incredibly wacky. For example, a lot of players are noticing that they're spawning into their zombies game with an operator that is, well, let's just say less than dressed for the cold weather outside in Die Maschine. A lot of people are reporting this glitch happening on the PlayStation 4. If you see one of your friends rocking this skin inside of one of your own zombies matches, no, they did not pay for a new new risque operator skin. But yeah, this is definitely one of the funnier bugs we've seen in quite a while. Not so funny, however, is the change Treyarch made to the Exfill system here in Die Maschine, because now, for whatever reason, and we're not 100% sure if this is just a bug or if this is a permanent change to the way they're handling Exfill, once you take down all of the zombies and all of the megatons as part of your Exfill, additional megatons will continue to constantly spawn inside of the Exfill pond area until you actually get a chance to hop on that chopper and get the heck out of there. This means that once you're done taking down all of the zombies that you need to, it might be a good idea just to book it out of there as quick as you can, because you will get quickly overrun. The sheer amount of megatons I've seen people reporting that spawn into the Exfill arena, like 4 to 5 at one time. It'll be interesting to see if Treyarch does address this, or if this is just a new gameplay feature forcing players to get out of the Exfill area as quickly as possible. Next up, details of new weapons coming to Cold War Zombies with Season 1 can now be found within the combat records section of your zombies profile. The first of those is an OG Black Ops staple, the MAC-10, and the second of those is the Grozha. Along with the MAC-10 and the Grozha, we expect that the Striker Shoddy that can be seen in the season preview for Season 1 will also be making its way to zombies when that season launches, so it is nice that we can 100% confirm that the new DLC weapons coming into this game will be immediately available within the zombies mode for us to play with. Players are also noticing that during the preseason time, which it is right now, where you're only able to get up to Prestige 3 after the patch, for whatever reason, players are noticing that you're able to somehow progress to Prestige 4, with a lot of players seeing this Prestige emblem here, which is actually once again a reused asset, because this is the Prestige 4 emblem from Black Ops 4. Next up, guys, trust me, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I know a lot of you yesterday in the comments of yesterday's video was very happy that Treyarch finally decided to fix the Trapper calling card stuck at 255, so you can now get that calling card. Well, after the patch, it turns out they did fix that Trapper calling card, but now, even though you've completed all of the challenges, unlocked all of the calling cards in the Zombie Hunter subclass, the Zombie Hunter Master calling card will remain locked, even though you've met all of the requirements in order to get it. So unfortunately, we've kind of kicked the can down the road in the Zombie Hunters section, where you're able to get Trapper, but just not the Mastery. But on the other hand, Treyarch did add a significant amount of new calling cards and challenges into the game with Season 1. I will say that I am quite impressed with the actual number of new challenges that they added, although a number of them are simply calling cards unlocked for reaching a certain level, but there is a bunch of zombie-specific challenges within here too. My personal favorite, and I know one I'm probably going to end up going for, is this one right here, the Geiger Countermeasures calling card, where you've got to block a bunch of megaton projectiles with your Ring of Fire, so it might actually take quite a little bit of time to actually complete, but the prospect of getting a calling card with regular soldiers about to fire their AK at a UFO is just too great to pass up. Next up, it was announced that we'll be getting our first look at actual gameplay content that will be coming within Season 1 here in Cold War, where a new trailer will premiere on December 10th at 4 p.m. Pacific time as part of the Game Awards. I would expect that this would be the trailer where Treyarch is finally going to show us what exactly is the new game modes coming to Cold War Zombies with Season 1. It's probably going to be done in classic zombie style, where we'll get a whole bunch of the multiplayer, we'll get a whole bunch of the Warzone stuff with Rebirth Island, and then at the end I would expect a segment where Zombies is featured that will finally shed some light on what we can expect going forward throughout this mode with Season 1. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to come on down, because it's time to play your favorite version of Real or Fake here in Cold War Zombies, where this picture has been making its way around the zombies community that shows the Ultimus version of Tricky Rick here in Cold War Zombies. And while it's true that the assets, the actual models for all of the Primus and Ultimus characters are in the files of Black Ops Cold War, we can pretty much guarantee that these are simply reused assets. It's possible somehow that someone was able to modify their game somehow to get this Ultimus model of Richthofen to replace whatever operator skin this is supposed to be in the zombies main menu, but my bet is firmly placed on fake. While we will be seeing an Edward Richthofen make his appearance here in Cold War Zombies, you can be sure that it definitely will not be the Ultimus version of it. But oh man, was that a gem-packed episode or what, guys? Because that wraps things up today. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, hey, consider leaving a thumbs up on the video, and why not subscribe here to the channel if you're not already. Even as I record this video, new zombie stuff related to this patch continues to be found in game, so definitely be sure to download that patch. It's significant in size, over 13 gigabytes on PC, even more on the PlayStations, and hop in game to see what else has changed here in Zombies. But I want to thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you with another Zombies news update tomorrow. Peace.